Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and we are almost at 2018. Thanks so much for being here and joining me live here on my Facebook Live, which it looks like this is going to be literally the last transmission from this office. We've moved into the other office, got the building painted, and tomorrow we're packing up this shop. So it's kind of ironic that this is literally the last week of 2017, and this is the last week that you will see a live show from this studio or the way that this is done. So a little bit sad because there's been some good memories in here and there's been some good times to be had, and there's been a lot of fun, you know, that I've felt through this room. But, you know, on to new things, on to new pastures. And there's a lot that's coming up here on this new year. It's all about newness and all about new paths and all about change. And I mean, every new year brings that. But what makes this new year so different than every other new year is a big question that I think a lot of people want the answer to. Now, let's just scale back here and go back to Christmas, which was one of the most odd Christmas charts I've seen in a long time. One, it was heavy Saturn aspects, the Sun and Saturn very close. Two, Moon on Chiron, which is not very easy in Pisces. 3, Mercury just coming out of retrograde and in a slight square to Neptune. 4, Venus and Saturn conjunct in Capricorn. So, you know, I've been trying to ask people, like, so, you know, how did you feel about this Christmas, you know? And it's interesting to see a lot of the standard, like, oh, it was good. You know, it's like, but I'm like, you know, I'm having installation people come into the new building. I'm having electricians, people, you know, and I really go, come on, how did it feel? And then, you know, it's like, yeah, it just doesn't feel the same. Or, oh, it didn't feel the way that it normally does. You know, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of heavy energy this Christmas. Now, I'm not saying it's negative, but I think that a lot of it is, you know, it's more about the new year this year as the holiday than it is Christmas. So I know that might sound a little bit nutcasey or crazy, but there's a big part of this being about the new year, right? So interesting, just something that I'm throwing out there. Now, of course, what are we going to be talking about today? Why is this new year any different? But before we can go into that, let's take a look and see where the planets are right now as we are talking today and see what's going on. So we can kind of just look and see. So I am running this chart for December 26th of 2017. And we've got some interesting things going on. Let's see, what do we got here? So we have got this moon, which has been squaring all of this Capricorn. So if you see here, look at this. All this Capricorn energy, right? We've got the Sun, we've got Venus, and we've got Saturn and Pluto. All in Capricorn, and the moon is in Aries squaring this right now. And has been all day, okay? So this is a very intense square. These are the same energies of what brought about the Pluto-Uranus square, right? Of Aries Capricorn of 2012 through 2015. And the moon is starting to come into that Uranus-Pluto square as it's being squared by the sun. So it's a very enhancement. And this is really about your ego, your identity, your road, and how do you really want to define this road? Yes, when I say define this road, I mean this is a big moment here as we're coming into the new year. Like, oh man, is this really the road I want to take? Is this the road I want to go in my life? And then you've got the seriousness of Venus conjunct Saturn, right? Which just happened on Christmas, which is a very, 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 especially in Capricorn, holy moly. Talk about, it's not that you can't feel good, but you know, it's more like, man, the feel good energy, the relationships, the projects, there is a serious undertone to things about getting things done and getting things on point and making things happen. So, yeah, you know, it's extreme because it's, people are making very intense choices right now on what 2018 is going to be for them. And it's not minor choices. It's not, you know, like your typical, oh yeah, like, so what's your New Year's resolution as you're popping an e-pill or drinking your life away? You know, it's like, no, it's like, this is a very sobering energy right now. It is not a party energy. It is not a let loose energy at all. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody is like taking their life really serious. They're taking their relationships really serious. They're taking their projects really serious. This is serious to the max of the max of the max. Can I add that again? To the max. You know what I mean? Like, it is super, super serious. People aren't even thinking about, oh yeah, we're going to just let loose and just let's just go to the wildest party I can right now. No, there is like a stillness in the air, like a very just serious reality check about things right now when you look at this. And this Aries is wanting things to get done. It's getting things done, but it also is it all defined correctly? Is it all in alignment with who and what you want to be, and if you're going on that track or not? There's a lot of that to look at. Is this the right direction? And it's interesting because tomorrow, coming into Wednesday, the moon's going to come on top of Uranus, and Uranus right now is, you know, the ruler of course, Aquarius, where the South Node is. So it's going to be interesting as well that we see there's a lot of things about looking forward with this moon trine Mercury and Sagittarius, but there's also a lot about the future and moving forward with this Uranian energy coming up. And with the squares to Pluto, it's like, oh man, it's like there might be some really weird stuff going on that we're trying to make a choice on in our life. And they're very weird. This could deal with people. This could deal with, you know, things just not progressing forward in our life at the rapid rate that we want to. And another thing you need to remember is Uranus right now. Oh, it won't write a U. How funny. Uranus is stationing this week, which means it's stopping. Okay. So Uranus is stopping at 24 degrees because on January 2nd, Uranus moves forward, which means all the planets, okay, all the planets are going to be moving forward on January 2nd. Now, the best way that I could describe what's going on right now is, especially this week. This week is, yes, there's the soberness. Yes, there's the extreme seriousness and the undertones of relationships and projects and what we're going to do and so yada, 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 yada. But what the big deal is definitely the beginning of the new year. We're going to talk about, we got a full moon coming. I got that chart coming up next. We've got Uranus going forward on January 2nd. So that means all the planets are directing forward. 3, we are getting ready for the Mars and Jupiter conjunction, which is happening at the same time. I mean, it's just no coincidence, right? Which is an explosion, right? These two planets deal with big doors opening, and especially in Scorpio, these are definitely things that change our lives, and more importantly, go deeper into the core of who we want to be and our identity and our root chakra of ourselves. And so what we're dealing with here is a massive portal into the new year where we will not take the road that we do not want to take. We will not be with the energy that we do not want to be with. We just will not do it. We do not want to come into this new year. And the best way to describe it would be kind of like, fuck it up. You know what I mean? So there's a lot about this being like how serious this is a rocket ship. And the best way that I would describe this in a very simple phrase, I'm doing a webinar on Thursday about this. I'm going to talk about Saturn and Capricorn for all 12 signs, January, of course. And I'm calling it all speed ahead because literally all speed ahead, Captain. Like, it literally is being prepared for the most powerful forward energy that you're going to get in 2018. And it's right at the beginning of the year. And it's like, do not waste it, you know? Because if you look at the longer term scale of 2018, it's a Mars retrograde year. It's a Venus retrograde year. It's, there's a lot of weird eclipse stuff coming on in the summer. I don't know if you guys have looked. It's another solar eclipse with a Mercury retrograde in the summer in August. It's the finalization of the nodes in Aries or Aquarius and Leo, and then they're moving into Capricorn, and then they're moving into Cancer, where there's a bunch of energy piling up now, which means it's going to make things really intense. And so, you know, this window that's opening up here at the beginning of the year is one that you're not going to want to throw away or, you know, I know Capricorn tends to want to wait on things or prep, you know, but it's like being clear on very hard truths. Because when you're dealing with Scorpio at this intensity of Mars and Jupiter, and what is Mars and Jupiter? Well, Jupiter is trying to teach Mars, like, hey, you can go where you want to go, but it has to be in the direction you want to go. Mars is also teaching Jupiter, like, you could open all the doors you want, but you got to only go towards the things that you really like. Both these energies together create a very powerful rocket ship. And in Scorpio, I mean, it's like, if I'm not into it, I'm not into it, right? It's like, that's the energy. And then when you got Capricorn, look at this, when you got all this energy in Scorpio, right? Okay. You know who has a lot of Scorpio Capricorn is Kim Jong-un up in North Korea, believe it or not. That dude just does whatever he wants. Anyway, when you have all this Capricorn, let's throw this out. So when you get all this Capricorn, you get all this Scorpio. I mean, come on. It's like, holy cow, right? It's like, this is a moment where it is very tough truths, okay? There is zero fluff in the universe right now. There is zero comfort, zero. Just harsh truths, get the work done. The only place you can really feel good is when you're like doing work. I know that sounds horrible. I know that sounds like a hell planet, especially during the holidays, right? When the holidays are all about relaxation and taking off. But I guarantee you on your holiday, it's not feeling like a holiday. I mean, this is way too intense in the energy fields of getting things done. And it's almost like when you get things done, you feel like finally you can have a break. It's like, but there's that gap where it's like, oh man, if I'm not doing what I want, and if there's a gap in how you feel about who you are and not feeling aligned in that space right now, man, it's like you can't deny it. You got to scream it. You got to be it. You got to live it, you know, in that kind of a way. So, you know, when you're dealing with this much Scorpio and Capricorn, it's really intense. And to boot, you know, we got all this Aries on top of it, right? That's going on. So there's a lot to really start to think about here. Because this week is the final week where Uranus is retrograde. And what is Uranus retrograding doing? Uranus retrograding is looking at your identity, your persona, and people just want to keep calling. Your wants and your ego. As it's retrograding back, it's looking in the mirror and the connections and saying, is this really who I want to be? Now, Uranus in Aries is trying to find the freedom of expression of identity and self. And so on the last week of it retrograde, and you got to remember that when Uranus turns direct, you're dealing with Uranus energy. Freakouts, random things going a way that you didn't expect. There's a lot of unpredictable energy building up right now. Oh my gosh. Like it almost feels like, you know, something's about to just go, you know, it's like, and a lot of this is about your persona. A lot of this is about your wants, your direction, your needs. You gotta just shut up, phone. The worst is I've been ignoring this phone call all day from this salesman, and he just doesn't get the message. Anyway, when you got all this Uranus retrograde stuff, you can't play around because guess where Uranus is becoming when it comes direct? It's going into Taurus for the first time in 80s. Well, I mean, if I were to do the real math, it's like 70 some years, the last time since Uranus was in Taurus, but the last time it ingressed into Taurus was about 84, 86 years ago, right? So we are about to move forward into the new energy of Uranus, which is an 8-year cycle that we haven't seen in a long time, and also on the longer half of the cycle, right, that we haven't seen in some of our lives. I mean, a lot of people who watch this channel, we all haven't been around for Uranus and Taurus. We're getting ready for self-worth, what we're going to create, what we're going to manifest in our life, rising our levels of our value in ourself. And that value of ourself is only conditioned based off our identity. So if we identify with being at a certain level, right? If we identify with being, you know, I don't know, I hate to use the term of a hierarchy, but it's like, if you're at this level in life, well, you know, you can only manifest at that level. But if you choose your identity to be at this level and what you want, then Taurus teaches you, then you can manifest that. So if you want to, we'll use gardening, for example. If you want to garden a bunch of corn, but you only want to do it on 3 acres, well, guess what? You're definitely not going to get a deal from Pepsi or Coca-Cola for all their high fructose corn syrup, because you're not going to be able to produce enough. So, you know, maybe it's like, maybe you need to turn maybe that 500-acre ranch that does cattle and go, you know what? I would rather do corn. These are the identities of what you really want to create in your life, the higher vibration that you want to manifest in your life. And these are very tough times because this Uranian energy is forcing you to do what people are going to think is freaking nuts, or they're not going to understand you of who you want to be and how you want it to be. Not one person on the planet, maybe the aliens, God, or angels, are the only people, because Uranus rules the heavens, that are understanding what you exactly want. There's, of course, friends. Uranus rules friends, so there's some friends that get it, okay? But lovers, family members, you know, people that are outside of the Uranian bubble don't get you and don't get what you want. They don't get it. They don't understand it. So it can feel extremely frustrating because you're trying to develop the life in which you want, the path that you want, but nobody gets it except for the people upstairs and a couple friends that see you in the same light. But it's weird with Uranus because those friends can't do it for you. Like, or you know, they could be by your side, but they're not going to fully feel the investment in which you might want to feel the connection in which you want on deeper levels, which you're wanting more in your life. And with all the energy being in Capricorn, which is all about, well, you know, at the end of the day, it's like the recognition happens once you reach the goal. It doesn't happen with the whole Cancerian thing where it's like, oh, yes, yes, we give it to you now. Yes, look at my child and how great it is. Yes, yes, look at it, yes. No, this is not about family and Cancer and all that stuff. Sorry. Of course, Cancer is going to try and teach Capricorn to be softer and to be a little bit, you know, you need a foundation if you're going to, and you need water and you need comforts in order if you're going to get to this extreme mountaintop that you're trying to reach with all this energy in Capricorn and with Saturn in its natural home. I mean, like, but the unfortunate part of this is this misunderstanding of the direction and how you want your life to be, and the deeper information and the deeper knowledge of yourself and your deeper root chakras that are popping off right now, and nobody gets it. And this is what also is in the combination of Mars trining over to Neptune, right? Which is this, that you can see through this veil of your identity, your root chakra, your persona. But, you know, again, it's invisible to other people. Like, so frustration mounts super hard because Aries is about self, and it truly is about self. Now, let's move on. To New Year's Day, okay? So on New Year's Day, we are going to have a full moon in Cancer at 11 degrees and Capricorn 11 degrees, okay? Now, it happens January 1st about 6:30, but, you know, January 2nd for universal time, okay? So what is this this full moon about? Well, it's ironic it's happening on the very beginning of the year. And we always usually, we do have some unique stuff always on. If you look at, what the new year brings for the last, I don't know, 5 years with Pluto Uranus, you got to remember that we have gone through multiple new years of crazy charts. Okay. This one just adds to it because of the fact that we've got Saturn, of course, in Capricorn. We've got the Sun and Venus conjoining, right? And conjuncting. This is burning out Venus, okay? And Venus is already not that great and happy in Capricorn because it's not a sign of real love, but it is a sign that can get things done. So that's why Venus does like Capricorn, because it's another earth sign that can manifest things. This is a manifesting time, about manifesting and learning that the emotions that you bring into your life right now, okay, because it is a moon in Cancer, okay, the emotions that you bring into your life have to bring the right emotional vibration in order to get where you need to go. Because unfortunately, even though this full moon at the beginning of the year is going to want comfort and things to be safe and things to go cozy and comfortable and Care Bear-ish and beautiful and positive in a very just simple way. Cancer wants it simple. Cancer's happy with a blanket on the couch and watching a movie. You know what I mean? That's where it's satisfied. But Capricorn's not satisfied there. Capricorn wants to put on a nice clothes. Believe it or not, clothes and all that stuff is Taurus and Capricorn stuff. Looking good, looking fresh, is definitely not in Cancer. Cancer's about pajamas and Cancer's about relaxation. But with all this energy and opposition, it's about, I got to get to work. I got to be on point. I got to be straight. Okay, I'm dealing with a lot of emotion. But that emotion I'm going to use in the right way so I can get where I need to go. But if you're afraid to use the emotion for your benefit, instead make that emotion go against where you're going, right? Because this full moon in Cancer can truly be, go against what you're, and especially, look at this. This is Sun Venus. This is going to be dealing with projects, relationships, money. These are the things that are coming up on this new year of, are we on the right path, and how are the emotions dealing with that path? Because of the fact that Sun, Venus are there. So this is a big relationship / project beginning of the year where it's like sorting out the emotions between these positions. And at the same token, being prepared. This is a big rocket ship going on, right? Jupiter also is starting to sextile Pluto. Big explosions, big powerful changes, big deaths, big endings going down. Big ones. Big ones. And here's that Cancer. Look, it almost looks like an earthquake. The way that I'm doing the seismic aspect of this full moon. And emotionally, can you deal with the tough truth of things not going exactly the way that maybe your emotions want to? And then Uranus turns forward right after that, literally on January 2nd, right after this full moon and this seismic activity, Uranus turns on, bam. And guess what? We move into, are you going to really become that person that you want to be, that nobody understands? Or are you going to break down and say, no, I'm not going to? And this is a very weird week. Talk about weird, it's Uranian week. So when you get a lot of this weird energy going on and you mix this with what I've just shown in the astrology, it brings out there's awesome things that are going to be manifested here, but are you ready to emotionally do what it's going to take? Are you ready to emotionally go into the place that is a tougher position that's going to be a little bit nail-biting / tough on doing what must be done to get you where you must go to make you really satisfied, and it's not understood by many people. And that's how we start this new year, and it's full throttle. There is no such thing as, okay, we're kind of going. No, if if you think that the beginning of this year is not full throttle and you're hoping that full throttle is going to come later in your life or it's going to come later in this year, I'm sorry, folks. This is full throttle. Full throttle. You cannot ask from the universe for more full throttle January 1st and 2nd. A full moon coming into a Uranus direct and all the planets moving forward with full moon. That is maxed out with Mars and Jupiter conjuncting, sextiling Pluto. Exactly. I mean, literally, I know I'm laughing, but like, as an astrologer who's been just like who does this, it's like, if I were to put the planets in a position where I'm like, okay, I want full power and I want all the doors to open and I want to blast it off and I want to move into things extreme, but I also, don't want it to be too fluffy. I want to just like make it happen. And I know it might not be easy, but to deal with some of the situations, but I want to get there. Oh my gosh. Here it is, January 2nd, 2018. Boom. Oh my gosh. And then you just got to think about it on like another like long term. At the end of the month is eclipse season. We come into a big lunar eclipse right away. Bam, in January at the end of the month. Boom. So you've got full throttle, then you've got full throttle straight into eclipses. Boom! Boom! Life changer. You want to talk about January being full throttle, life changing? Boom! Holy cow! Bam! I mean, you just don't make this up. You just can't. When you look at this chart, come on. And, there's a lot of seismic activity around this moon, And, there was like I don't know. There was a thread the other day I read from an old friend that I know. And they were posting about solar flares. And, I've been on this channel saying that for years. I have videos on YouTube. I've been saying it for 4 or 5 years. That I believe major alignments in the planets, and especially based off the astrology, are connected with the solar flares. Every single one. I guarantee you the solar flare activity on January 1st and 2nd and are going to be the biggest that you've seen in a long time. It's like I don't even like scientifically, I wish I could just do data. Like this guy was like trying to argue with me with data. I'm like, well, just watch my videos where I talk about it, or just but there's so much. This is peaked out. Look at this Mars Jupiter. Oh my gosh. Sextiling Pluto with the sun days after. Have you guys looked forward yet? Have you guys looked at this yet? Let me show you. Okay. Let me blow your guys' minds moving forward. Does it go to 19? No, it doesn't yet. So Mars and Jupiter at 17 and 18, right? So 17, 18 on January 6th and 7th. And look at this. Pluto 19 and the sun right there. So the sun and Pluto are going to be conjuncting with Mars and Jupiter in sextile. Massive, massive, massive explosion. I have not seen that I'll be real. I've been doing horoscopes every day since April 10th, 2012. Every day. I've done a video. Every day. On my app or on YouTube. Okay? I've done over 5,500 videos or whatever it is. I have never, ever, in the last 5.5, 6 years, it's coming up 6 years in April, geez, ever seen this much pa-bam, pa-bam. Okay? Mars in its natural sign. Jupiter's here. Sun, Pluto, Capricorn, and Saturn's backing up the Sun and Pluto as it's in that sign, its natural home. Holy moly. So this week, in essence, literally, if we just think about this week, okay, this week is about the preparation for major, full throttle energy, and whether or not you are going to make the last adjustments. And a lot of it has to do with Mercury that's in Sagittarius. It's flipping through the catalog. It's flipping through things. It's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Is this what we're going to do? Mercury's kind of like the all aboard, person. The train's all the freight train's going, and the coal's all been going, and the big smoke's coming out. And literally there's a little Mercury in Sag going like, Anybody coming on last aboard who wants to make your changes in your seats or who you're sitting next to or what you're doing? That's literally what Mercury and Sag is doing. Like, how does the adventure want to look? These are the last minute plans. Everybody's getting their seats right now, and we are locked and loaded. All the bags are packed. If you want to make a last little sacrifice or a little change, it's right now. And I know that you can feel it right now in your life. Like, you know? So it's like everything is at this major spot where it's like, oh my gosh, like, am I really, and I got to do it. I got to do this. You want to talk about learning Capricorn? That's the lesson right now. The lesson of Capricorn is doing what is not comfortable. Making choices that are big boy, big girl. We're all becoming major adults. I know there's adults that have been adults for 60 years of their life, 50 years of your life that watch me. But you know what? Even those adults and adults like me, I'm in my mid-30s. It's like, guess what? We're all not even close to understanding what adulthood was because the last time Pluto and Saturn were ever in Capricorn was in the 1517 was when they conjunct. So the 1500s, okay? None of us have ever been alive for Pluto, Saturn, and Capricorn. None of us have been aligned with Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, that's coming into Capricorn at the end of 2019, with the South Node in our lives, and that goes all the way back to the 1280s. So we are not even close to understanding what tough is, okay? What changing structures are, which means determining hard choices to get on truly on your path and not back out because of your emotional, my emotions are getting in the way. My emotions are afraid of really doing what I want to do, really going on the trail, really doing the way that I want to do. I mean, and with Uranus and Aries, this is exactly what the lesson is like nobody will get it. So you've got to learn to do it. This is also the ending, and it's not fully the ending, but it is the beginning of the ending of the Pluto and Uranus square of Aries and Capricorn, because the truth is Uranus is heading into Taurus, okay, in May of 2018. And Uranus is coming direct. So it's starting on January 2nd, it's starting I'm out of here, I'm moving to Taurus, and ending a long cycle that we've been going through since the beginning of Pluto's entry into Capricorn, then Uranus's entry into Aries in 2010 and 2011, which really, if you look at your life from 2010 to 2012, was like this kind of really weird getting ready, and then the fucking tumbleweeds and the whole washing machine went blam, you know what I mean, in 2012. So like that energy hasn't left us yet, and it's finally getting ready to start to make changes in that direction. And this is highlighting everything that's coming up here with this Uranus direct energy. So I can go for hours and 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 hours about this stuff. But the end part of all this is truly, are you ready to make some tough choices where your emotions are being heavily involved as a full moon in Cancer's building? That your emotions, are they going to get in the way of making that difficult choice to do what you want to do and those last changes that you want to do to go in the direction that you want? Or are you going to let those emotions play out and play the safe road and then watch the train leave and be sitting there and going, oh boy, is that train coming back? I don't want to be stuck here. I had a moment of weakness. Like, it's like, the one thing I've learned through this whole process of this last decade of the 2010s with Pluto Uranus in Aries and Capricorn, and especially now that we're talking right now as the sun's in Capricorn and the moon's in Aries, so it's highlighting these energies, is like, it teaches you toughness. It teaches you survival in a way that means taking action. Whereas the last Pluto Uranus square was literally learning how to survive. Like, this is, you're not going to die. You're not, there's food on every corner in most of the world, at least. Not everywhere, but people who are watching this, there's food in front of, we're very lucky, okay? We live in a world where it's like, the tough choices of surviving is taking action towards what you really want in your life instead of letting your emotions get in between or other people get in between of what you really want in your life. You know, that's the Libra opposition to Aries, and that's the Cancer opposition to Capricorn. So, you know, there's some very extreme moments here where it is just not easy. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you this is easy. The backside of it is easy. Once you've made the hard, tough choices, the backside of it is. The front side of it is extremely difficult. The front side is like, oh my God, but it's when you make the choice, you move through the hard emotions, you move through it and you move on the other side that it pays you off, gives you everything that you know that you'd want to go. What does my shirt say? My shirt says the world's fastest racers. Ha ha. There you go. Troy Lee. So I'll take a couple questions and then I got to roll. It's late. Been up all day. But yeah, so this will be the last live from this studio. So I'll take a couple questions. Kind of sad. But, you know, I got to say thank you all. I know it's the new year and it's Christmas, and I told everybody on the app a big thank you. But I want to tell everybody who's not on my app a big thank you for making all this possible, because it's been a dream come true for me to be the Leo King and deliver the planets and astrology. And I know I've told you all that I'm making big changes in 2018 with new content and new ways of delivering this show. And this show's going to change quite a lot. But, you know, I appreciate all of the support over all the years, and especially for those that have been watching for the last almost 6 years every day. It really means a lot to me, and I appreciate you continually to watch those horoscopes every day. So thank you. Oh, my hands. So I just took the braces off today, actually, and I can feel my hands again. So what happened was when I fell, I like literally landed with my hand, like a part on my jet ski broke. It's a brand new part. It broke. The sponson, it was like a manufacturer's defect, or the guy who installed it at the race shop didn't tighten the screws down long enough. So what happened was the sponson popped out, and when I turned, it flew me off at 70 miles an hour, and I landed with my hands like this. So it pushed him back, and I tore the ligaments in my hands and the nerves in my hands to where my hands were tingly for 3 days, and pins and needles, like really hard pins and needles, like really hurt, really bad. And so I couldn't use my hands, like for 3 days. I couldn't use my hands. Like just picking up my cell phone out of my pocket was like, ah, driving was like, ah, like everything I'd touch anything and be like, oh my gosh. But anyway, my hands are back. They're being used. They still are sore. Like I have some sore aspects of my hands, but I'm able to use them. I'm able to pick things up, like a little pain. That's cool. And I don't take pain meds or anything like that. So I literally went through it and just kind of went through the pain for 3-4 days. But yeah, I'm all right. It was just like one of those, like, imagine having a brand new bike and something didn't go right and like the tire fell off, like and you're just flying off your bike. Like, whoa, you know, like that's what happened. That's what happened. Where can we? I'm not going anywhere. So you can continue to find me here on the Leo King Network, but on my Facebook and on my app. The app's changing just to a new name, Future Life, and a new design, but you'll still see my daily horoscopes and all that stuff. But I'm moving my office. I'm moving my facilities. I grew out of this facility. So, and I didn't like doing a live show in a little office with these, you know, I like the nights and I like this little setup here, but this live stream studio it's not professional enough for me. You know, it's Capricorn time. It's time to step up the game. So I'm stepping up the game, building new studio, and building new things, and building new shows, and building another media company alongside the Leo King. that's going to be doing much more documentary stuff and selling things to Netflix and going into a whole different direction. And then Future Life's going to the left side, which is going much more into horoscopes and daily lifestyle videos and helping you out through the app and helping you through that kind of stuff. Then I'm doing like big movie stuff, big film, docu stuff, and interview and live shows like this every day. That'll be something that I could broadcast every day and through a new network that I'm creating. So it's extremely exciting. And then I'm starting a whole new DJ network show. That's going to be awesome. Once a week, twice a week, different videos, podcast talks, live DJing, new DJs coming in. It's going to be awesome. It's just a whole new thing, you know? So it's going to be cool. Have you always rocked the mohawk? No, I've never. No, I used to rock crazy spiky hair, like this all the time. But I just lately just was like, okay, well, instead of always doing it to the side, I just cut it down the, and I like it. Future Life is live at the first week of January. We waited till the first week because I knew this energy was bad. Got a lot of questions in here. But yeah, anyway, so you can find me here. I'm just going to end with that. When is the Fade Train leaving? What's the window time? January 2nd. Woo! Here we go. January 2nd. Leaving. Moving. January 2nd through January 7th, I would say, would be the best window. And then the new moon, that happens, I think, around the 15th, 16th. That would be kind of the energy starting to slow down. No more Mars, Jupiter. No more sextiles to Pluto. Like, it's not as powerful. And the new moon is going to be squaring Uranus, it looks like. So, anyway. If you're gonna go, use these next couple weeks and just push it all the way. Anyway, thanks for all the support. I truly appreciate it. Sending you my best energy, and I will see you all much later. Whenever, once we. I'm looking forward to pushing the new studio. Got to get there first. So. Anyway, thanks so much. Truly appreciate it. And I will see you guys later. Bye.
The Leo King app is the world's first and leading video and notification astrology horoscope app for iPhone, Android, and computer. Get daily spiritual videos and addictingly accurate notifications alongside weekly sun sign horoscopes, tarot videos, and exciting new age entertainment videos by celebrity astrologer and TV personality David Palmer, the Leo King. Join today. You have nothing to lose with a 7-day free trial and wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.